Hello guys, glad to have you on board again today. I promised I'll do it, so here it comes. I just triggered the invalidation on the SPX scenario. I've sent you the message yesterday, right at the candle close, to tell you about that. You knew about the rules that would trigger that stop, and obviously as those rules have been met at the candle close, I had no other choice but to trigger the invalidation. So obviously that doesn't make me happy. But still, that doesn't bring me down at all. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to uncover all the elements about this scenario, all the step-by-step who's been leading to that massive 15.5% drawdown. I'm not even including the USD GPY, which is probably going to be reached out in validation probably tomorrow as well. So like I said, we're at the expected level. So it's a 15% loss out of SPX and NASDAQ and things like that, and probably another 5% drawdown to be added in the forthcoming days out of the dollar scenarios and most likely the yen ones, as they are all pulled backing. And it is stupid, I don't really get it, but I need to be honest with you guys. I think something definitely goes wrong with the stock market right now, but we're going to talk about that later on. We're going to uncover all the steps leading to that big loss, and we're also going to describe and explain you why this loss, even though I don't like that, has had to be taken, because if you don't, then something goes really wrong about you for the future on trading. So taking a loss is part of trading, first of all, but you already know about that shit, so I'm not going to do the usual bullshit. Let's cut the crap and go straight to the essential. Why this loss has to be taken? Because yes, I think we're going freaking fucking irrational at the point. I think we're nearly reaching the top tipping point. And I really feel that in as deep as I could do out of my 10-year experience, I think that's we're reaching out the no return point, and we're reaching out very dangerous things. I mean, just look at the VIX. Just look at what the last day looks like in the VIX. Do you really think this is going to keep on going like that? Not at all. I think we're going for the worst case scenarios in here, where something pretty fucking ugly is about to happen in the next following days. But still, I'm just gonna pause for a bit. Just say nothing for just give you a few seconds to think about it. All right, because I know some of you guys are really misunderstanding this. Why do I have to take the loss? Because I really and strongly think something ugly is going to happen in the forthcoming days. Now, why do I get up? I think the prices will be pushed down on the equities. I think something ugly is going to show up in the VIX. I think volatility will show up again in an expected manner. Like you can expect something like February 2018 to come along the way. Not necessarily in a few days, but it's something that's going to happen, definitely will. But still, so why do I was selling, so why do I buy myself out? Think about it just for a second. All right, that makes no sense. I think the market will go down, so why do I get the fuck out? Because you don't think in trading. That's exactly what this is. The big difference in here is that no matter how deeply convinced I am that something ugly is going to happen, and that it will probably slip through my fingers as I was speculating to the downside, and therefore this loss might be stupid to take right now, if just 2 days from now we might be 5% lower. Yes, we might. So what? We could also be 5% higher. And you don't know anything about that. No matter how irrational this looks like, how parabolic risk-taking, you don't give a shit about that. Parabolic structures only collapse when the time comes, and you're never going to be able to know anything about that. You can speculate. I definitely think that there is a dangerous timing for that bubble to trigger, but still, I don't know. And as I don't know, I was ready to risk 15% on this scenario. 15% is there. I take it, and I don't even ask myself another question. The thing is that I still have that bearish bias, definitely am. I'm not even going to buy that market. All I tell is that right now, I've been trying my speculative bullets, and they just missed. All of them. And I've been triggering many fucking bullets. An entire charger has been fired. The problem is, at that point, I have no longer bullets in my charger. I just need to hide for a bit, recharge, and then eventually I'll start firing another battle. But definitely right here, right now, clap short-term volatility, you really got me in, and you really did it perfectly, which means you couldn't have done any different to get my money. That's exactly how you had to do it, and I'm going to show you how they've been doing this. When I say they, I don't target specific people. It's hard to say who's doing what. The day it will collapse, we'll obviously know who was playing that dangerous game, because obviously those guys will probably had a bankruptcies, just like AIG in 2008. But still, it is subjective information. It means it can happen, cannot happen. So all you can do to flush all that out of trading, because trading must absolutely not be this. This is part of trading, all right? This is your personal feelings. They're important, but you must never trigger a trade because of this. You must trigger a trade only if what you think, what you feel, is correlated to what you see out of rational technical indication that has no bias. My indicators are not there to tell you if you need to buy or sell because you think you should be buying or selling. They're here to tell you the price structure suggests it's okay to sell or okay to buy. And if you can combine those two, your own personal feelings and strategies with some technical indication, then I would say you definitely has been reducing your risk enough to trigger a trade. Doing it any different is just nothing but gambling and trading what you think is going to happen. And you might be good at some point, you might be bad at some others, but definitely that doesn't bring money because people like me will take advantage of technicals, and if you don't, then you're simply going to give me your money slowly but steadily. That's how it goes. Those who take irrational decisions slowly, the more they play, the more they lose. Guys like me, the more we play, the more we gain. So we definitely take your money if you do trade with gut trading. All right, not necessarily on a single trade, but out of 100 trade. If you do trade with what you think, I'll definitely pick your money. That's simple as that. Not out of a 2, 3, 4 trades. If you and I were betting on who's going to make more money than the others out of 5 trades, I'm not going to even take that bet. I can't guarantee I can win 5 trades in a row, or I can't even know that. All right. All I know is that out of 100 trades, I'll definitely be more profitable than anyone else who's trading with gut trading. That's definitely it. Out of 5 trades, you can be winning. Definitely you can. I mean, I don't guarantee I'm going to be good at each 5 trades you give me opportunities to do. All right. So anyway, these ones have been wrong, and there have been many wrong in a row, and it rarely happens to me. Generally, I can be proven false 1, 2 times in a row, 3 times, worst case scenario. Going further than that rarely happens, but in here it just happened, and the worst case scenario is that they didn't even let me a chance to breathe in between. So they really got it to tease me to get in, and as I got in, just make everything possible to fuck me at the exact time to avoid me profit taking. So now we're going to show this. We're going to show the SPX first of all right? Because we're going to talk about this and talk about what are the tiny little pieces that's been dragging up to 15%. But getting in there, 15% is enormous, yes. Do you know how much I've been making out of the US indices since the first drop in here? More than 40% gain. So those gains and those losses I had are incomparable. I just surrendered part of my gains. It's simple as that. So yes, it's not cool to take a loss, but still, I'm profitable out of the US scenarios. Some people call me a perma-bearish because I've just been selling for almost a year and a half. That's my plan. I'm searching for the goddamn big short scenario, and I've been standing still for this, and I still am, which means I'm not buying a damn thing in here. I'm just going to sell, and sooner or later, I'll get it, and you can be damn sure I will. And the day I will, I'm not going to gain 50%. I'm going to get way more than that. So any fucking way, all right? I still have some money available to keep on selling with gains, with previous gains. But the thing is that in here, I thought it would work out, and it didn't. So I take that loss, no problems. All right? So how it did happen, step after step. Step by step, sorry. So first of all, back then was all the speculative sellings. I was searching for bears to show up, not necessarily for the bear trade. Remember that a bear trade means that we need to have lower highs, and that's definitely where the danger has been happening. So in here, it was most likely I was picking some money, preparing for my trades. That's what I've done, selling in here, good gain. And I tried to reinvest that money in those areas, didn't work out. I sold in here again, worked pretty fucking well, took a huge gains out of here, and then obviously I started selling again because I thought in here regarding what we had, slashing growth, I thought, okay, we might be just ready for the bear trade right now without even signaling. And I would say, okay, we could have like a falling knife, no one even considering that the market is going to go to do great or no great. I don't give a shit about others' thinkings. So the thing is that in here, applying the strategy, there was a trade to take. A risky trade, obviously, but this is what we call the trend trade. Remember that when you do have a trend like that with a breakout, what you do is that generally when you pull back to the trend channel, you're looking at selling entries in a context, which means you had to go 4-hour chart time frame. All right, let's just zoom in and we're going to use the replay function. All right, so applying the strategy, what is this context? Definitely is a bear trend. Okay, you can see the breakouts. Everything like that, you're pull backing to the context channel, boxes are folding each other, so you definitely have the pullback stage of a trend. So you do apply the goddamn strategy. You need to be at least 23% retracement, we definitely are in here, and you just need to search for a selling signal. Alright, so we've got the taking profits. Alright, we're trying to push a little higher, that's not surprising. When it comes to profit taking, you know that the market can be going a little higher, but I would say in here is definitely a sell signal. You've got a target in here, everything you need, everything that corresponds to a wave 4 kind of trading. You do have 2 sets of waves clearly visible, so if you don't trade in here using my strategy, you and I have a problem, because this is the kind of trades you shouldn't even hesitate. You take that trade, no fucking questions asked, because that's what you have to do. That doesn't mean it work out 100% times out of 100, but normally it will work out like 80 times out of 100. And in here, we just ended up with a 20% failing. That's no big deal. It will happen. So that trade had to be taken. I took it, all right. And obviously the thing is that I always apply the same money management, which means when we're here, I'm going to secure the trade. Okay, I'm no god, which means I take the trade and I'll generally lock on the gains out of a 23.6, or normally I even search for the previous market top in this area. So I would have said this would have been my first profit taking area, validation area, and then normally confirmation, trend, and everything like that. All right, but I would look at prices to go there. I'm not highlighting the price. Okay, all right? I'm highlighting the area. So let's see how it went. All right. Oh no, let's do something more than that. We're gonna do just like I did for the French. Let's have the goddamn VIX in an overlaying structure. Sorry. So this is how it goes. All right. Look at that. In here, volatility is picking up. We're out of volatility support. Prices under resistance. Everything suggests we're gonna go there. I'm gonna be first profit taking. Then the trade's gonna be secured, and I'll be out of risk, ready to take some free money. But no, it's not gonna happen, folks. That's what the volatility sellers just sent me. First message. You know what? Fuck you. We don't give a shit. Volatility, we're selling it. Whether you like it or not, we're gonna go higher. That's what they told me. So obviously my stop loss is probably set in here for this trade, and they're just gone taking it straight line. Oh, damn. Right. First sell. First short entry, definitely fitting the strategy, entirely fucked up by the market, who is not even letting me manage the risk, which means it is just, oh, you know what? The market isn't bearish. So this is how they did. They didn't even let me manage my risk. They just fucked me instantly. That's how they did, which means you were selling a trend. There's no trend. Let's go away and give me your stop loss. That's the first message. But no problem with that. It happens. I know that trading the trend trades is risky. If you get proven wrong, it's generally ending up with a loss. So in here, 2.5% loss immediately, and I give it to the market. No problem with that. That's a speculative trade. I know sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But still, as long as you repeat the strategy, you'll get more profitable trades than the losses that comes along the way as well. So no problem with that. If that trade was to do it again, I'll definitely do it. No, not even questioning. So trend trade doesn't work. That doesn't mean you can stop selling. It just means that in a trend perspective, you're no longer going to be a seller. You can't, all right? But still, yeah, there are other ways. The trend doesn't work. Let's try out a range, all right? Remember that on a weekly chart, we have this suggesting that, yes, the bearish range is definitely possible. So this is what I've been trading on the daily chart. What are the bearish range rules, you need to have 61% retracement and to be trading in the context, all right? So obviously, as an aggressive trader, we do have a weekly bearish range, but I decided to trade it on a daily chart. So I've been deciding to take a little bit more risk, but definitely to have better entry prices as well. So when were we able to do this? In here, 61% retracement, trading in context. So I was ready to figure out a bearish range context. At that point, if you remember me, if you knew me back then, you remember that's the point I was publishing some videos about potential bullish biases, guys, that might have some problems ahead, because I just made that analysis. Let's just replay, all right? I just said, all right, if you guys have that kind of chart, and if you reverse it, what will you do? All right, I said the other guys, if you were a bullish bias, I mean, just you're so used to buy stuff that your mind is fully biased to look at buying more than selling. As a bullish biased vision, you would definitely buy this, because you're trading support area, definitely has been a support, then resistance, it's an overlapping level. We're here. And you would definitely say, okay, I think this is interesting to at least speculate on buying that support. So that's the point I was saying. Okay, we may have a bearish range, and people don't even see it because they are bullish biased. And I stand on this. I wasn't wrong. I think people are bullish biased right now, but still, it required me to speculate against them and to try taking advantage of this. The problem is it didn't happen well, but that's no big deal. Speculation is not about magically forecasting future. I always say that. So the thing is that I went 4-hour chart again to trade that more aggressively, because as once again, I'm an aggressive trader and I'm not going to change. I mean, it's proven me right for so long that I'm not going to change something that works out. So this is exactly this area that was highlighted. So when we got in here, I was searching for 4-hour signals. All right, nothing, but I did take this, which is great. So let's take, all right, let's say, okay, we're entering the expected area, because we really need to be putting these things together. All right, so we're approaching the interesting area, this resistance, so I'm obviously searching for selling entries only. I'm just waiting for a goddamn signal. Oh, good information. Now we do have a breakout target. I can definitely tell you that if we go there, I'll sell. All right, so no signals. Still. There we got something. A level that's been previously highlighted, stop hunting pattern. That's not necessarily a low risk trade, but that's a trade I'm ready to take. I'll definitely take that kind of trade. I remember taking it, obviously. So I sold in here. What do? I do the same old stupid goddamn stuff. I put my Fibonacci retracement to highlight my first profit taking area at 23.6 retracement. So let's pick up the previous ones. All right, so in here we do have all of this. Obviously, in here is my first profit taking. So it was going to be first profit taking area. And this is going to be normally a 1-to-1 ratio for the stop loss. So I'll put my stop loss approximately there. Oh, as this was an aggressive trade, I remember putting a shorter stop loss. All right, so stop loss must have been set in here. Aggressive trades, obviously. All right, damn, good, works fine. You can see double square system, so that should be ringing a bell. When you have this, you know a range is at play. Let me pick up the rectangle tool. All right, so you know there's a mature range, and obviously when you have this, it's a good sign. All right, I'm just waiting for this to play its game. All right, this is a range, and I'm hoping the price will exit to the downside, go straight to my first target, and then I'll be safe. I'll be out of risk, my stop loss will be paid, and obviously I'll be fine with that trade. Yes, great, it happens, so cool. But do we go to the target? Not yet, but in there, do you even think that the market will reverse? No, you say, okay, we'll pull backing. It's like a wave four type of trading. We'll pull backing, and we're going to get the final exit that will go straight to my target. I'm bearish, so I'm looking at any bearish confirmation. So obviously, I'm looking at bearish informations through price, not bullish ones. All right? Fuck that. What is this? Pull backing in the range. I would say, okay, you're pull backing in the range. I'm selling you again. I'm wave 2 selling. So I'm definitely taking a shorter time frame trade with an entry in here, more aggressive trade, and the stop loss is obviously lowered. All right. I'm reinvesting the risk, maximizing my profit if the market is heading down. The problem is, I never thought the market was fucking me back then. But look at this. I should have seen this. Look at the volatility in here. I should have seen the problem. The guys are just telling me, oh, you know what? You like that. You want to sell, but we're going to fuck you and sell the volatility instead. And that's where the big problems have been happening. Because those guys, they just pushed me out by selling volatility. It's the tail moving the cat. The guys, they never even play the SPX. Too much money in there to manipulate, but they've been manipulating the VIX, and just by manipulating the VIX, it's been inducing this big, beautiful music in the SPX that the calm is down the road. There's no problem. There's no recession. Everything's going to do fine by the US-China trade war. Everything's going to do fine with the Brexit. Everything's going to do fine with everything. So don't worry. Invest the money into the riskier assets. The central banks are here to support you. So obviously, they've been opening the doors for some nasty speculators to play with the volatility. They've been saying, okay, you think there are problems. We think they won't be problem in the short term, so we're just going to play that short-term game. We're going to sell volatility with high leverage and hoping that everything is going to do fine when we do trade. And if something ugly happens, then we're going to fuck up the entire system and probably going to pour some systematic problems. But those guys don't even care about the market 5 years from now. They don't even care about their careers 5 years from now. They know they're just here to take short-term gains, get the fuck out, hopefully not being uncovered until then, and they're just going to be away few weeks from now, few months from now. I'll still be there, and I'll still be doing the same stupid jobs for years from now. So I have long-term views. These guys have short-term views about their job. So they don't give a shit about the market. They don't give a shit about what they're doing. They probably don't even know what are the implications of selling VIXs are. They're just here to make shit tons of money quickly and then getting the fuck out with nice bonuses. So that's definitely the same guys who've been fucking up the system back in 2008. But still, that's what I think. Do I trade that with that signal? Absolutely fucking not. So in here, what has been happening? They definitely took my stop loss. All right, so in here, and bang, stop loss hunted. A few days later, obviously, bang, I'm out. All right. So the thing is that at that point, I thought the irrationality was kind of huge. So what I've done is that instead of taking the entire loss, I took just a partial loss, and I stood in the selling activity. I saw the parabolic risk taking on the VIX, and I said, okay, you know what, you want to play that game, I will play it with you, but with a risk management. The difference between those guys and me is that, like I said, I have a risk management. I'll still be there 5 years from now because I know how to do this. These guys, they're parabolic risk taking. They have absolutely no money management, or if they do have, it is a dangerous one that will push them out of this game sooner or later, and probably sooner than later. The thing is that, yes, they're making shit tons of money right now, but they will just lose it all at some point because they'll go too far. That's how it's gonna end. That's what I taught you. That's exactly the same stupid guys with the cryptos and their beautiful cars and everything like that, bragging themselves they are so good at speculation. They just learned it a few weeks ago. Do you think those guys are professional? No, those guys are bullshitters. They might have won a shit tons of money, either by luck or short-term speculation. They'll obviously lose it all as long as they keep playing. These guys have been testing a dangerous drug. Trading is a drug. Trading is addictive to whoever is stupidly playing with it. That's exactly this. The guys who are playing with the volatility right now, they're drugged. They're making shit tons of money. They think it's easy, and they're taking even more drugs because it requires higher level of consumption to have the effects. Go put yourself into cocaine. You'll see. You're going to need a shit tons of cocaines if you just don't stop. And you're going to need more and more and more until you get to either having a brain failure or anything like that. But something ugly is going to happen. You know all those things are real. I hope you do know. I mean, trading with a parabolic risk taking is exactly like that. Going full all in into cocaine. You know what's going to happen. It's not going to be pretty. So let those guys play their games. If that's the kind of stuff you're interested in, whores, drugs, and unlimited and parabolic risk, then go ahead. If you think that's what risk management is about, then you're definitely in the wrong place with me in here. I'm not going to teach you those stuff. I'm going to teach you how to simply and rationally risk taking. That's what I do here. That doesn't mean you're not going to be wrong here and there. All that means is that you need to accept being wrong, just making sure you respect the same frame every fucking time you put a trade in the market, because that's your safe haven. This is your only thing that makes you alive in this very dangerous context. Alright? This is chaos out there. It definitely is. The only way you can bring a little bit of money out of chaos is by having a goddamn strategy. And parabolic strategies, no, it's not going to last long. So anyway, let's go ahead. So they took my loss, but I said, okay, we're going to play that psychological game. I know guys like you. I know how it's going to end. So let's play. I'm not going to surrender entirely. I'm going to give you partial losses. I'm going to manage my risk, but I'm definitely not going to surrender. All right, so I keep on going. I still having some bearish trades at the moment. And I'm just looking at another opportunity to trade. So I'll go back to my daily chart, which is the next area I want to trade. So the bear range doesn't work out. All right. So next thing is in here. All right. I tried the bear range in there. It doesn't work out. In here is the 76% Fibonacci area. I do want to trade this area as well. Let's just put the goddamn in here. All right. So I tried this as a trend trade, didn't work out. Tried this as a bearish range, didn't work out. So this is a range context, all right? Not bear range, just a neutral range where 76% fib retracement and we're overcoming the bearish context. So in here, there is a selling context, different than the other ones. Step by step, I'm just stepping down. I see the guys increasing aggressivity. I'm lowering mine. First, I tried the trend, doesn't work out. Secondly, I tried the bear range, doesn't work. I tried the neutral range, doesn't work. But the neutral range has been setting me 2 sets of trades anytime we've been overcoming the context. There's the third one in here, still fitting the neutral range. But the problem is, this one, I no longer have money to do it. That's the problem. I've reached out to my limit. So we'll get to the actual conclusion. But anyway, let's switch back 4-hour chart time frame and just put it back in the game. So that's the trade we took. We've been stopped in here, obviously. But still, we're getting into the new trading area. Why do you do this? There is a rule you really need to get. All right? I teach you guys not to come up with a loss by another bearish entry. When you take a loss, you don't sell instantly afterwards. All right? That's really a rule you need to understand, because if you don't, you're going to have some problems. The thing is that the only thing that can make you selling after selling is if the context is different. So in here, switching from bearish range to range allows me to trade this area even if it's close to this one. All right. So now that we know the entire picture, it's what has been, it's exactly what's been putting me down today. If I didn't make that choice, if I just simply took that loss, avoid trading this, I would be just fine today. But the problem is, at some point, you have to make decisions. Just need to make sure those decisions fit the actual strategy. You cannot trade the same context right after taking a loss. The thing is, in here I was trading 2 different contexts, bearish range and neutral range. So to me it was okay. So I did search for another selling entry in here. I just waited for another goddamn signal, because you don't trade what you think, you trade what you see. Do you see any signals right now? Nothing to trade. In here is something interesting. Is it gonna give me a signal? That's weird. Oh yeah, it's divergent. Oh god damn it, you can clearly see this. I knew there was a signal. I remember trading this area. I think I even traded in here myself. I don't even remember, but I definitely took a trade in here. You've got the videos if you want to see this, obviously. So, another trade in here, definitely fitting the plan. But the problem, I still had partial losses from those ones. Okay, so I had some trades in here. I took another trade. This is what brought my average price to this area. Okay, so I took a tiny reinforcement in here, and same thing. I take my fucking Fibonacci retracement and play the same old game. This is the area where my first profit taking is. Alright, and obviously associated with a stop loss in here, and I'm just letting it go. Alright, so I'm playing that game all over again. Disappear, just alright. So are we gonna get to what I want? And we're gonna finally manage no, god damn it. You see this? We're back in the resistance again, far from even reaching out the target, so they're just rising interest and pushing further away to my stop loss. What I've been doing, what did they do? They just sold the goddamn volatility once again. Every fucking time going lower, taking even more risks. What they done, first time in here, volatility back at 15, that was stupid, but still, okay, they pushed it further away, 13.5 the time, the next time in here for that stupid top. In here, oh, 12.70. All right, these guys are not fearing anything. It definitely has to be for the best. All right, so in here, that's what we're doing today. All right, and here we are. That's the actual time right now. Is there a selling activity to perform in here? Definitely fucking yes. Can I take it? Definitely fucking no. Because I'm 50% loss in here, that's a 15% loss. And that's exactly what I expected to take. I said no more. I'm here. I'm taking that loss because I don't know. Definitely is an area to sell, but do you have any fucking signal? All you have in here is that target, signaling that this area definitely is an area to sell, but still, without signal, without something to trigger the trade. Do you trade just like that, out of nothing? I don't. That's not how I see things. So, the way it is, I was expecting and I was hoping that we'll have a pullback by the end of the session on Friday. And I said, if we pull back out of those goddamn areas, I'll be in. I'll remain a seller. But if we don't, and if we close at the highs, then I'll have to get the fuck out for a simple reason, because you don't know what's going to happen on an overweek session, on an overweek basis. I mean, we could have a deal during the weekend. We could have that deal, and if Wall Street for some reason is euphoric and is opening with a 2 or 3% gap up right at the historical levels, if this happens, I'm fucked. I was 15% in, which means if for some reasons deal and gapping up 2%, this 15% turns to a 20%, which is not acceptable. Absolutely not. So that's the reason why I took the loss. If I had early signals that the bears were fighting back in here in this area, I would definitely have taken that risk. Now in here I have absolutely no clues. It feels like no one is even trading this. Everyone sees that that bearish wedge in here, which normally exits by the downside, but no one is even trading this. No one is even caring. So the market now has a volatile level of 12. Fucking 12. Do you really understand what that means? 12 in the volatility is just as low as we've been when the historical highs was in here, when we were still having 4.2% growth expectations. God fucking damn it. We've been going down because we were risking that the recession might show up because of the growth dampening. Now we do have the actual fucking growth being dampened, so why the fuck are we doing here? That's a good question. You might wonder yourself, are prices rational right now? Is this parabolic risk taking? Is this very dangerous risk selling that we have right now? I do clearly think it is, but can I trade it? Not without a signal. As you can see on the daily chart, we did have a signal right in here. Did we trade it? No, we don't give a shit because we're no longer trading technicals. That's what it is. We're trading the tail moving the cat. So we're trading technicals on the VIX. Those guys are parabolic risk taking in a very dangerously illiquid market, and the tail's moving the cat, which means no one is even trading the SPX. The volumes are going dangerously fucking low. Let's have a look at the volumes. All right, let's go SPX. We're not trading this, trading SPX volume. Look at that. The volumes have been surging on Friday with a bullish close. So either this is the top, the market top, and by Monday we'll have a pretty nasty session, or this is the beginning of something even uglier. And if that happens, I don't want to play. I definitely don't want to play this game. So be aware that what's been happening on Friday is a game changer. In terms of volumes, we were just basically doing nothing all week long, but Friday is standing up for this day. Well, it is not a massive volume. I mean, it's a pretty fucking low volume regarding what we had back then, but still, this volume means something regarding what we've done previously. The volumes have been going so low recently that it is really dangerous regarding, no one is even trading this market, but Friday something's been done. I want to see what Monday will be, but I cannot take the over-risk risk. So I'm out and I'm waiting for further informations on Monday. If those informations are bullish, then I'll be pleased that I took my loss in between. And if those informations are bearish, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm definitely going to take a trade. Again, we're trading another technical area. I'll do it, but simply instead of carrying my previous baggage with me, meaning carrying those losses, I'd rather like to clear that up, take that goddamn loss, and start all over again with a new speculative trade. I'm definitely not going to risk more than 2 to 3%. It's just that I'm ready to take that risk again, but still, I'll do it with a fresh start. That's absolutely necessary. And I'll do it only if I do have a clear and clean, confirmed bearish reversal out of prices. I'm not speculating anymore. I've been putting every efforts I could. I'm probably the only bearish guy who's been surrendering that late. I'm probably the one who's been holding for longer than everyone else. But still, there's a limit to everything. I tried as hard as I could. Goddamn knows I've been well managed my trades. I barely made a few mistakes. But still, I think if it was to do it all over again, I'll do it exactly the same way. So have no regrets. I've just been playing the strategy exactly how it needed to be played. It is just that market might be irrational, and even if we're reaching a very dangerous level of irrationality from my own perception, this is not something that makes me holding the trades. You cannot hold a trade because you think something. You can only hold a trade if technicals are here and if your money management is acceptable. In here, the second is absolutely the one that fails me. I'm down the corner. This is what I was ready to risk. I'm here. If the risk doesn't show any signs of reversal on Friday, I take that loss and move on to something else. Monday is going to be another day. Tuesday will be as well. I hope I'll finally get a reversal. And if I do, then you might wonder, then why did you take that loss? That's rational. I mean, if just imagine that if Monday just looks like that, or worse, if we're opening in here on Monday. I don't know why. I don't even care. But let's imagine that Monday is pricing in like that. All right? Right on Monday, we go back testing that gap in a single day, which means out of Friday's close, we're making a minus 2% day. People will say, bears are right, the bulls are out of control. Yes, then I'll sell again. I'll start selling again. But still, was it rational to hold a loss of 15% loss in a market not knowing what Monday will be looking like? No, it isn't rational. Like I said, am I ready to take that risk of a 2% bearish day on Monday, facing a potential upward gap, reaching out straight forward to historical highs, and then taking me a 1% loss? No, I don't play that game. I'm not that kind of guy. I do speculate because that's my job, but I'm not stupid risk-taking. Those who do this doesn't very last long in trading, and my goal in here is to be there years from now. So I do apply the strategy because that's my safe haven that prevents me from going irrationally trading or irrationally risk-taking and anything like that. Those tools are my protections. They're my safety belt. Otherwise, I would trade what I think, and trading this doesn't really work out. It didn't work out back then. I mean, before building those tools, what do you think I was doing? I was trading. I was trading with a strategy, but still, I was bending the rules of those strategy, and that's why I created those tools. Because at some point, having tools that you want to bend because you want them to fit what you want them to tell you, then everyone is ready to do it. I mean, if you're just, let me just be clear, all right? When you have a look at this is like an indicator. VIX is just like an indicator. You can see whatever you want out of here. Some people will say there's a divergence in here, right? It's subjective analysis. These are things that you see and imagine through your own eyes. Things that someone else might judge to be disputable. That's why I've been creating fucking algos that gives a 0 or a 1 as an output. Either there is something or there isn't. It is not disputable. That's what I wanted. I wanted to remove disputable parts of my strategy. Feelings, all of this, because you don't trade out of feelings. Feelings are really important to support a trade. Meaning you must not trade according to the opposite feelings you have. If you feel it's going to go down, then you better like to sell. But still, do you sell because you think it's going to go down? No, you sell because some technical, cold-blooded informations suggest some other people are acting accordingly. So at least you make sure you're not the only one. So now let's put it under perspective. Am I a perma-bearish guy who is selling for bad reasons? No, I'm not. I do have my own conviction that something really goes wrong with the financial system, but still, do I trade that out of nothing? No, I don't. I trade because I have signals suggesting some others think it as well. Now let's put it back in perspective. What's the difference with a perma-bearish guy? A perma-bearish guy was just selling in here all along. They were selling in there. Sorry, they were selling in there. They were selling in this area as well. Absolutely not possible. The strategy in here just says we're bullish breakout. What the fuck do you do with looking at bear signals? There's nothing bearish to search for in here, but in here definitely makes sense. And moreover than making sense, we do have technical suggesting the worst is still to come. So I'm not thinking the market will go down on my own. I have information suggesting they're also seeing the same picture. So this is where the actual big concern is right now, because some people may think, Phil is just too bearish. You know, this guy has a bearish bias. Everyone knows that because he's selling for a year and a half. Yes, I'm selling for a year and a half, and we'll see, but I still stand that I think I'll be right. Future will prove me right or wrong. I goddamn don't know. I mean, the market can be irrational, but I do have to trade what I think when it's supported with what I see. And the final thing is just chaos. I don't know what the future is. All I can tell is that as long as I trade what I think and what I see, and as I respect the risk management, then I'll just be fucking right in the end. It is just this market cannot go up forever. It will definitely be wrong someday, and it will definitely crash someday. Is it right now? Is it 2021? Is it 2022? I don't know. All I know is that the day it will, I'll be there. And in the meantime, I'm not going to buy a damn shit. It may take up to 3 years to get to that trade, but I'll be in this trade the day it will come, and you can be sure I'll be paying for all the in-between speculative losses. But still, I mean, just at the current time, I'm already trading with gains. So that's just about it. I'm preparing for that scenario. I don't know when it's going to be triggering. All I know is that I do trade that scenario. Out of a weekly charts, there's not even a question. I think buying right now is just as irrational as it could be. Those who do this play a very dangerous game. They do it in a shorter time frame. I understand people who are buying in a 1 hour chart time frame, 15-minute time frames. I can understand that, no problem with it. Anybody who is swing trading right now must be a seller on the SPX. The guy who tells me I'm buying out of weekly charts, no way, not even possible. So anyway, that's a long shot, so we're going to stop in here. I think I've said more than enough. It's just for you to understand what the mind process is and the difference between a gambler and a trader. The gambler will say, I think the market will go down. I've got so many clues. But those clues, they're subjective analysis, because the VIX has a parabolic structure. Because I said that, you think it's true? It might be just wrong. You think the stock market is overvalued? Some people say it. Still, that's subjective. Some people may think it isn't, and they still have a lot of profits to make. So how do you trade with those information? You'll have some people saying it's bright. You have some people saying we've got pretty shit tons of dark clouds over our heads. You'll always have the two options. So if you listen to someone else and trade because of what you've been listened to, oh my fucking God, this is the worst ever case scenario. Trade what you see before this and just pick a goddamn side. Either you were bullish or bearish, I don't give a shit. You make your own choices. All I can tell is that if you're a long-term, mid-term bullish, I mean weekly bullish, you would have bought in here, you would have been stop lost, and you're definitely not trading anymore. So I don't see anything supporting bullish activity right now, rational bullish activity. So all we have right now might be just speculative bullish activity. Yes, I can understand that, but still the odds are bearish in those time frames. Future can prove me wrong, and if it does, I'll let it go. Once again, you don't hold bearish trades. They all comes with invalidation, and if I get invalidated in this area, I'll surrender and I'll wait for the next one. And you definitely need to do as well, because you need to be aware of this. If you're holding the trades because you think you think the top is near and that you don't want to take a loss if the market is about to reverse 2 days from now. If you think it like that, oh my God, you're really going to take a hard lesson someday, and I goddamn hope it's not going to be today, but it's going to happen sooner or later. Sooner or later you're going to hold a trade because you think it's going to reverse. It won't reverse. It would just like fuck up half of your money, and you'll have to take it either way. Either right now with a tiny sustainable loss, or you're going to have to wait for something that is unsustainable, not even calling for a margin call. So just don't go there, please, please. All right, I hope you really took that lesson. This is the only reason why I'm doing that video. I don't really like to talk about my losses. That doesn't please me. The thing is that there was high level of educational content out of those trades, and I said, and I stand for this, even if today is a missed shot, is a loss, this still, you have to learn from losses, and I think you can learn from what's been happening today. I stand for this. I made no mistake. If it was to do it all over again, I'll do it exactly the same way, but still, even though I think it is still bearish, I have to take that loss today because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and I've been reaching out my limits. I'm just waiting now for prices to prove me right, or keep proving me wrong, and I'll just don't sell anymore until I get proven right with prices. I want to see some price reversal structure, first on the daily charts and then on the weekly charts. I want a weekly bearish engulfing to be sure that the bears have even taken it under control again. All right? We will have plenty of time to talk about that in the forthcoming days and weeks, obviously. I'm not going to go into that much detail, obviously, as well, but we'll see each other again in Monday to talk about other scenarios, and most likely probably USD GPY is going to take another invalidation as well, probably early last week. So we'll see about that. I see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend, and if you took that loss, I hope it's a decent loss. If you're still in the game because you had a better risk management than me, then clap clap. I see absolutely no reason for you to get the hell out. It's just that you must be ready to handle some positive gaps, some potential bullish gaps on Monday, and if you can handle this, then no problem. You can stay on your trades. It's just I can't, and I'm here to tell you what I do, and this is what I had to do. I had no other options.